Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Coach, the tundra may not quite be frozen, but it's getting there as we work our way through December. The radar today, however, is clear at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go! 8-3.
Check my 50. Tighten up. Pull it together.
Hook up. Speed grip.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
I'm coming after you. 50, mine's 50. Pick it up.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
X3. 2-8-6, get it.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 40. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection of his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Let's go, D. Big series right here, so we got to step it up. Kill, 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 kill. Check 31, check 31.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give Fournette another crack, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ready up.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Shit, shit. Check 9, check 9.
Greystone travel.
It's 50. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Hey, Haywood. Hey, Sam off. Dude.
From the gun, Herbert. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
A big run by the big man Fournette. Give him 55 yards on the ground. A A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Hey, 626. One set. Check Mike 54. Look at this.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brings up third down and 11.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down.
4 down, 4 down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Hey, Charlie. Be crippled.
Throwing on first down. Herbert. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Got it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Ready.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You draw Corker.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Hunt. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Jets on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Herbert. This one caught by Crowder. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. This one complete to his running back, Jamal Williams. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Now Rodgers. That's going to be caught. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready, break.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's going to field this at the 4. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. The tackle there by Brian Poole.
4 yards on the pickup.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Rodgers. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Hey, watch this, watch this. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Bang, bang. Back north. Bang, bang.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 2nd and 13. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half.
Here we go. Can't shoot stuff. General West.
On 1st down, Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing again, Herbert. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Out. 3 down. 3 down. Out.
From the gun, Herbert got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A 16-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Number 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, I 7.
Yo.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
Here we go.
57. 57's the Mike.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and a couple. Rodgers flushed out right. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. And he'll be a couple Shy of the 20 at the 18.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 18-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Herbert looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Ready?
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you.
Big rip.
Throwing after the interception. Herbert gets this one left side to Pettis. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 9.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Back to throw. Herbert gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Let's get off the field.
80 weapons.
Hey, switch gears.
Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. 17 yards on the fake punt, and that's going to be a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
It's just me and you.
They run again with Hunt, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Leonard Fournette, and an alley to run. across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one, because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
54. Gotta do better. Come on,
26.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right
Bravo.
Now Rodgers throwing again. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Sacked there by Avery Williamson, the linebacker. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to get a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. To throw again. Herbert. He finds an opening past the 40. On the catch, it's Crowder. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back now at Lambeau. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. On on the delay. Here's Hunt. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
To throw on second down. Herbert throwing left side. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
50. Mike 50. Hey, that's good. That's good. 50's the money. 50's the money.
Looking to throw. Herbert. He completes it to Jones. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 15-yard line.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Crowder's got it over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Back to throw. Herbert. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 20. 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, ready.
44's the mic. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
Throwing after the interception. Herbert. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
You go tight. You got tight.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Looking to throw. Herbert. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Watch time. Snoop. 3 down. Ready.
On 4th down, Herbert. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
31, Jets 24. Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, well, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out.
And that's caught inside the 30. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jay Sternberger, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point up and through. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick 6s from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick 6s in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Jets, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.